Hi there, this is Todd Kramer. As I wrap up my MLIS journey, I want to share this artifact from Libs 610. It's my personal collection digitization plan, and I title it Todd's Treasure Trove. This is what is attempted to be a comprehensive proposal to digitize and preserve 5 items of deep personal significance to my family. As I scroll through the plan, you'll see that I didn't just pick flat photographs to digitize, although there are some of those. I deliberately chose items varying in format and age. For example, right here in item number 2, you can see that I attempted to preserve some concert tickets from the 1990s. Part of the plan specified what kind of format I wanted to use, whether it was TIFF or PNG, and then just setting those formats for the archival files, and then using JPEGs for the daily access of the files. You'll see as I scroll through, though, if I go to item number 4, you'll see that here I tackled a 3D object. This was a stuffed Curious George from 1978 in my personal collection. And for an item such as this, the technical requirements shift entirely from what I had to use earlier in the project. You can see here that I specified an X3 CD file format for the archival format, and then I used an OBJ or a GLTF file type for what we would be accessing normally. As I continue to scroll through my plan, you'll see there are several other objects that were part of my digitation plan, but I want to focus here on the equipment section in section 4. You'll see here that this is a real-world application of this plan, and that's what becomes the focus here. I spent some time researching the actual hardware that would be required to execute parts of this plan. Part of that was researching the kinds of 3D scanners that we would need. And here I suggest using an Epson Perfection V600 for most of the 2D items in the collection, and then a Moose Light 3D scanner to capture high-resolution photographs and really give it depth for those 3D objects. Below the equipment section, you'll see this section on long-term digital preservation in my plan, and this is where I spent some time applying the industry standards and using the 3-2-1 strategy I learned in class, where we had to make sure we had 3 copies of the files, one that we always stored offsite, one on-site in something such as a portable hard drive, and then a final copy that would be stored in a cloud service. And this always ensures that those artifacts survive any sort of physical disaster. Creating a plan like this was a pretty massive learning experience and a pretty big undertaking. This directly aligned with my growth. It addresses a couple of different SLOs, including 5, integrating evolving technologies, where we had to move from just basic scanning to doing really high-level 3D file scans, and researching the kinds of hardwares and technologies needed to do that kind of modern archival work. And then I also focused on SLL 4, which is all about accessing, synthesizing, and evaluating information. And here, that really comes into play when I worked on evaluating the physical condition of each of the artifacts and the legal rights of each item to make sure that they could be legally and safely accessible in the future. So I hope you enjoy scrolling through my plan, and we'll talk again soon.